I'm Bruno Heufelder. I started with SAFe in 2014, having the luxury to take an SPC training with Michael Stump, and very passionate about helping organizations with SAFe. And I'm working as an independent consultant since 2019. I started my own company, nSpirit, GmbH. I think if we look at SAFe as a complete framework, it's packed of simple and effective patterns or simple structures. And PI planning itself is also packed of simple structures or simple patterns. So one of these simple structures that I like a lot in PI planning is the feature Kanban board. So on that board we see the progress. It's very simple. At the beginning people don't like it because it's so much paper, and then they start liking it because they see what is planned, what is missing. Maybe you mark something that is a risk, and at the end of the first day it's very easy to see where is the progress in planning. And it's also very easy to say, okay, what is cannot make it into the red line or into the planning, what do we have to reprioritize, or what do we have to discuss with stakeholders. So that's an example of a simple structure that helps us get a grip on this complex, messy process that we are trying to deal with. Continuing with simple structures, another simple structure that people sometimes hate, they hate it, but you still need it, is the Scrum of Scrum check-in times. And so there you check what is the status, and you move the people or move the teams into the next step. So in the PI planning you start with very broad, high level, these are the goals, the features, what we want to achieve from the business perspective. And then you go into these concrete features and you break down into stories and you put them on the sprints and you do all this detail planning. And then typically people want to stay in the detail for a long time. And it's very important that that over the first day they come back to what can we achieve overall. So they get back to, for example, PI objectives that at the beginning people don't like to get out of this detail. And then with every hour or hour and a half checking the status and asking for where are you, did you start planning story breakdown, for example, or did you already start writing down the PI objectives, or did you already start negotiating with PM or PO the priorities or scope details and so on. And then people say first, no, it's too early. Okay, but the question is, did you start with it? And then they move into that direction. You get them into that direction. But again, Scrum Masters hate it because they are interrupted. So there I recommend give them the questions in advance, review the questions maybe and the times so that they own the process instead of putting it on top of them, and then they are just disturbed in their flow. And they have to know, hey, we will do it on time, else the others are waiting for you. And a simple pattern that helps there very much is that you put on the floor the name of the team and eventually the person on the floor and in the order that you have them on the table, the checklist, and that you will have them, you will ask them. So then you very easily know who is here and who is not, who is missing, because there is maybe a post-it with a team name or Scrum Master name missing. And especially when there are new people that you don't know so well, you get very quickly into that. One of the misbeliefs that sometimes people have about SAFe is that it is about SAFe. And what we are doing with SAFe is not at all about SAFe. SAFe, in the best case, is just a set of tools, a framework of tools that help us to get a grip on these complex processes. And so whenever we try to impose a structure from SAFe and people react against it and don't like it, if we say because SAFe says it to do it this way, then there is even more reaction against SAFe. I've seen a lot of times that, for example, there is this discussion, you have to have everyone on the inspect and adapt, they have to be everyone there. there is typically a lot of discussion. We cannot afford to have everyone, or the people get bored to discuss this process stuff. And so there, again, it's not about safe. It's about what problem do we want to solve, and what is the context. Are the people ready for this or that? And a simple approach that I have, for example, taking with one of my customers, and I got convinced by the customer, was, okay, let's not discuss about if everyone has to go or not. We define program layer has to go, product owner, scrum master have to go, and everyone else is invited voluntary. Who comes is able, it has an influence on changing, on improving our collaboration. Who's not coming is not coming, and that is fine. The message here is it's not about safe. Safe is just a tool. Sometimes it's next to a certain recommended pattern, but still solving the problem. The next thing I think is very important is trust the people. It's more important that the people take ownership of their destiny, to say it in an extreme way, or take ownership of their process, than to follow a certain way of doing things. So, for example, in the discussion, should we do story point relative estimation, or person days, or any other thing, or whatever, I try to apply the standard, the recommendation from SAFe, but if there is too much resistance, I don't push at all in that direction, because I've seen that people, it's more important that they take ownership of their planning process than that they use a certain methodology for planning. Trust the people that they know better, or sometimes they don't know better, but they need to do this certain thing this way now, and they might learn over the second or third iteration the thing that you want to teach them now that they are not ready to accept from you. Or sometimes they know better than you because they are in their context, and they know what works better in their context, in their challenges, and in their organization, or whatever it is. So trust the people, they know better than you. The last thing I think is crucial for creating the right energy and the right mindset. We want to have people who are proud of their work and they are happy with what they are doing, but they take ownership, take responsibility, and together create value. And I think it's crucial to celebrate, celebrate, celebrate. And one of the simplest ways to celebrate continuously is after every presentation, just clap. When someone presents something, for example, the teams, every team presents and then, okay, thank you, and then nothing happens, then very quickly someone starts to clap, and then everyone else claps. It's very natural, we're used to do it, and we do it anyways. And you do it 2, 3, 4, 5 times, and then they are used to clap every time, and they are happy for their results.